everyone, I'm your fave nurse B. Today we're going to talk about 7 bad habits that every nurse has. Now look, of course not every single nurse has these bad habits, but I'm sure that you at least have one of these bad habits. Girl, I know you do. Come on, dude, I know you do. So let's get right into it. If you all are new to my channel, I am an LPN. I work at a long-term care facility. I've been a nurse for 3 years. And I am a communicative person. I talk to pretty much everybody, and I be observing y'all. I be watching. So I know, trust me, I know what bad habits y'all got. And of course, your fave nurse B is very guilty of quite a few of these bad habits. So number 1 bad habit that every nurse has is gossiping. Everybody want to know what's the tea. Girl, who got fired? Girl, did you hear that such and such was found in the parking lot with such and such on their break, and they was... Yes, that type of stuff happens all the freaking time. Like, I don't know, we trying to just find something to pass the time, or we're just bored, or it's because it's a lot of feminine energy and we're like, girl. But trust and believe, the men gossip too at my job. They gossip too. Yes, you all are a part of it. And this is something that I'm really growing to just be like, oh, I don't know what's going on, or I don't, because I'm working to push myself out of that energy of talking about other people behind their back. And yeah, I don't even really care. Like, I just try not to be in that energy. I'm working on it because I just feel like it's not like really serving me, and it's not helping other people, and you really never know what's going on in someone's situation. But sometimes some stuff you're like, I can't believe that happened. Like, seriously, yeah, I could tell y'all, I don't want to get in trouble. I could tell y'all some stuff, especially when you work in nursing homes. Moving right along. This is a fun bad habit, but we all do it. Nurses will steal pens. Yes, nurses are pen freaking fanatics. I actually have a video coming up just about pens, because I know how much we love pens. Do not trust them. Don't trust them. Don't trust them at all. Okay, have you all stole any pens in your nursing life? Has someone stole a pen from you? Yeah. Then the third bad habit is, I see a lot of nurses doing, I even saw it in nursing school, is that nurses like to undermine doctors or MDs, and they like to be like, oh, why did he make that order, or why did she write that order, or she's just so stupid, she doesn't know her patients. Like, this I think is why it's a bad habit, is because at the end of the day, like, we are under the doctors. I know people don't want to, they want to say, you know, nurses are just as smart, or doctors don't always know. We keep you alive. You know, the nurses are the ones that keep the doctors from killing their patients. But at the end of the day, they went to school to become an MD, and this is what they do. Like, you have to, I mean, you just got to respect it. It's just part of the career, part of the field. And I think a lot of nurses, they try to undermine MDs, and it's just like, we don't see the big picture as much as the doctors see the big picture. They've seen thousands of patients. They might have 1,000+ patients. Like, seriously, especially doctors that go to nursing homes. Some doctors go to nursing homes, and they have their own private practice, and they go to the hospital. And like, one of the doctors at my job, he does that, and on top of that, he is the medical director of our facility. So he basically, I mean, he got a lot going on. I think that this is a bad habit that nurses have, and we should kind of get away from that. I think, of course, you should advocate for your patients, and you should make sure that your doctor knows, like, hey, you know, she's saying she's in a lot of pain. I know you don't want to write this order, but, you know, maybe if we can just get her something for the next 7 days, just while she's in therapy, just to see if it works, just kind of get an idea of, you know, if it's going to hurt her any type of way, blah, blah, blah. I don't know. But don't try to make it as like to the point where everything that an MD says or does, you're like, whatever. Because this is kind of similar to the dynamic of CNAs and nurses. CNAs might undermine nurses and be like, why is she having me do this? Like, why isn't she doing this? But they don't see the big picture. They don't see what we see coming from where we're coming from, and the knowledge that we know, and the experiences that we have, and the responsibilities that we have. And that's the same dynamic when it comes to nurses and doctors. So this, it's something that we need to stray away from. I know there's certain instances where it's like, okay, like, you need to save your patient because this doctor has no idea what the hell is going on. And that's another video. The bad habit number 4 is actually second guessing yourself, which is something that I see happen in a lot of younger nurses. Not necessarily younger nurses, but newer nurses. And even in myself, sometimes I'm like, dang, should I call the doctor, or should I don't know, which I have a video about how to talk to MDs over the phone, or like how to communicate with MDs. So definitely go watch that if you haven't watched it before. Undermining yourself and not really standing on your own knowledge is something that I see nurses do. Like I said, this mostly happens in newer nurses, but at any stage you could be in this situation, especially if you're stepping into a newer role like a management position, or if you're going to a different job or a different setting. You can undermine yourself a lot in nursing because there's a lot on the line. It's a lot at stake. It's somebody's life at stake. So I can see why it could be, you know, something that we have to deal with a lot, but it's still a bad habit because you want to make sure that you are confident in what you're doing. But you definitely got to find that balance, you know, which is something I talked about in one of my last videos, talking about which new nurse are you. I talk about the 2 different nurses that I see a lot. But for 5 we have is communication. Some nurses had a bad habit of just not communicating well. They don't communicate to their CNAs and patient care techs. They don't communicate to the doctors or the families or other nurses or other disciplines like therapy and, you know, dietary, whatever the case may be. Or they may not, you know, even communicate with other nurses, like saying like, hey, in report, they don't communicate well, which I have a video about report. It's a live video, but I'm going to be doing another one that I filmed that's a sit down video and it's more in depth and more focused. But anyways, like, we need to communicate. There's no way that a person is going to know anything unless we actually communicate it to everybody through writing nurses notes, through chart, you know, that's part of charting, which I have a video about charting. Go watch that. Just go watch the videos, y'all. Just show your fave nurse B some love, okay? Charting, talking to your CNAs, hey, she has C. diff, make sure you do da 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 da. If you don't communicate to a CNA, the whole shift she goes by, she's like, she's running off. Why did she run off? Oh, she got C. diff. The CNA gonna be looking at you like, why didn't you tell me this? Like, what the heck? You know, it's some things you just have to communicate. Family members, you need to talk to them and say, look, mama looks a little bit more, you know, tired, da 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 da. I talked to the doctor and this is what I think we should do. Or have you noticed that she's tired too, da 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 da. Those type of things. Keep the communication going. This is such a bad habit. I don't know if it's because we get so busy or we're just like, you know, we see it as, oh, everybody knows about this, but not everybody. They may not know, or they may have noticed it, like a family member may have noticed something, but they just didn't bring it up. Either they forgot or they thought, you know, maybe this is just a bad day, maybe it's just a fluke. But if they see that you communicated to them about it, they're gonna be like, oh, well, maybe this is an issue, maybe this is a concern that we need to look deeper into. So definitely keep the lines of communication open, and say what needs to be said, either through writing or through talking to family members and doctors, other nurses, other disciplines. Like, this is a bad habit that I see even for myself, which I'm working on, because you get so busy, or you feel like maybe everybody knows about this, you know. But sometimes stuff goes on for so freaking long, nobody says or does anything about it, and the next thing you know, your patient's getting sent to the freaking hospital, you know, because they're septic. And it's like, if we would have just worked on this or communicated this a week ago, we wouldn't be going through this. That's another video too, yeah. With that being said, the next bad habit that nurses have, number 6, is complaining. Girl, if you don't like your job, just leave. Just leave. You ain't got to be no nurse. You don't have to be a nurse. You don't have to work here. You don't have to deal with this. You do have a license, you know that, right? You can move on. And y'all, I'm saying this to me. I'm saying this to your favorite nurse. I'm saying this to myself as well. I have really been working on this. Just go to work, Brandy, do what needs to be done, and keep it pushing. Because I've found myself every time I work, I'm having a freaking like meltdown, or I'm just so pissed off. Like, if you all are friends with me on Snapchat, y'all have seen in the past few weeks that Nurse B has been a little like up here with some of the stuff, and I just been so like complaining about stuff. But at the end of the day, you all, we have a license. We don't have to deal with the things that we are dealing with at these jobs, whether it be patients that we don't want to deal with, family members, doctors, co-workers. We do not have to deal with it. We have licenses. We can move on. I do think that this is something that's so inherent with the field, because we're dealing with people. We have to deal with our own crap while also dealing with other people's crap. And we have to deal with it on limited resources, limited amount of time, limited amount of workers, everything. Like, we have to deal with it, and all the responsibility comes on the nurse. So it makes sense that a lot of us would be complaining about all this crap. Like, girl, why we gotta keep working short? Or why didn't she say anything to her? Or why is it that every time this person come in, they want to complain about this and this and that? You're complaining about them complaining. Go figure. I can have a whole nother video about literally each and every one of these topics, you all, but this is something I see us doing a lot. And really, all complaining does is attract other things in your life that you can complain about. So try to look on the bright side, look on, you know, be positive. I know it's easier said than done, but if you really find yourself always in a situation at work and all you're doing is being negative and complaining and nagging and pissed off every day, move on. Move on, because you're gonna start to resent this field. You're gonna just not give the best care that you can, and everything on this list is gonna happen. You're gonna be stealing pens because you complain, and you're gonna be doing all type of stuff. So push yourself out of that vibration, like move yourself out of that you know, energy. And that's something I'm working on, because people are like, girl, yeah, I'm like, yeah, I try to move on with that, and it might come off like, okay, like, you know, I just try to get out of that. Even though it's sometimes, I mean, it's like every day I got to keep working on it at work, because there's plenty of things to complain about. But you know what? It's plenty of things to be happy about. I have a license. I no longer have to deal with nursing school, which I am going back to nursing school, y'all. Like, comment, and subscribe. And then number 7 bad habit that nurses have is y'all be picking up too much overtime, overworking yourself for that coin. It is not that serious. Now, I get it. We all have things that we're working on that we want to get done. You know, back to school is coming up. I got plenty of videos coming from my back to school folks out there, all my nursing students, all of my aspiring nursing students, everybody out there. I got some really good videos coming up, so stay tuned for that. Like, comment, and subscribe. And yeah, nurses love to overwork themselves. I have done it. I've done it. I've been there, done that. I mean, it's to the point where I've heard nurses, they do like, oh girl, this is my 8th double in a row. So you telling me that you worked 16 hours in a row for the past 8 days, and guess what? The job will allow you to do it. Like, they don't care. They will let you do it. They don't care as long as they got a warm body there. They don't care that you've worked literally 16 hours a day for the past 8 days. That's how you get burnt out, and that's how you give bad service. That's how you selling your soul, y'all. We already selling our soul at the end of the day because we had a job, but you really doing it. Like, you're not getting no rest, no nothing. This is all you do. You heard. You may as well just get a gym membership, y'all. When you get off, go to that gym real quick, take a shower, get back in your car, go to sleep, and then wake up 5 hours later and go to work. You may as well just do that. But I get it, because sometimes you just need to just, hey, let me just do this real quick so I can pay the taxes on my new car. Let me do this real quick so I can get this down payment for my house. Let me do this real quick because I want to get some furniture, or my kids want to go to this trip, or I got this coming up. This is such a bad habit, because it's eating at us. It's tearing us down, y'all. It's hurting us. It really is. And that's another video, just talking about stress and everything, and just going to a job all the freaking time. Like even and somebody asked me in a video, they was like, why be a YouTuber when you have a career? At the end of the day, I don't want to be anybody's employee. I want to be my own boss. I want to make my money. I want to be able to be in control with my time and my energy. I want that control, nurse or not. And that's another video, y'all. But I think like being overworked is probably one of the worst things that nurses can do, because it eats at you, y'all. That take a lot out of you, especially time away from your family, time away from you resting and eating well, and just time to reflect and just be with yourself. Like, you take away from that so much when you overwork yourself at your job. Those are my 7 bad habits that every nurse makes. I want to know, have you made any of these bad habits? Even if you're not even a nurse or even in healthcare, have you committed these bad habits? Do you have any more bad habits that you've seen nurses do? I can list a few more, but these are just, you know, I wanted to keep this video a little smaller, but I might do a part 2, who knows. So let me know in the comment section you are. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Go join us on the YourFavNurseB Facebook group, and also my Instagram. Thank you all so much for all your support and love. It is greatly appreciated. Peace.